Hello everyone, and welcome to the exercise on while and if statements. In this exercise, we'll build a calculator. We'll use while loops and if loops, while statements and if statements to build a calculator. And we'll present some options to the user. Then we'll perform a basic calculator function. So here are the instructions for the exercise. We'll start out by writing a basic calculator instruction for a user and present a menu with options to add, subtract, calculate modulus, multiply or divide two numbers. Prompt and ask the user what operation they want to perform, and selection must be one of the presented options in our menu. And if the user does not select from the menu, we'll prompt the user to make a valid selection. And then finally, we'll display the result of the operation they selected. And don't forget to display a message if the user tries to, let's say, divide a number by 0. Okay, so take a moment and try the exercise. Great. Now let's see the exercise together. So we'll start out by creating our menu, and then we'll save our menu instruction in a variable called menu. So let's use triple double quotes for presenting the menu. Okay, let's say our simple calculator menu, and let's present some options for our users. Let's say 0, they will press 0 to quit, press, or you can say choose 0 to quit. Let's say choose 1 to add. We can say choose 2 to subtract. Choose 3 to multiply. Choose 4 to divide. And finally, we can say choose 5 to calculate modulus. Okay, so those will be our options for the user. What we'll do next is we'll use while statements to present these options. So if they select 0, our calculator program will quit, and if they don't select 0, we'll ask the user to enter their selection, and then we'll store their selection or choice in some variable. Let's start by doing that. So I'll just save their selection in a variable called choice, and then we'll start by setting it to none. Then we'll use while loops to check their selection. So we can say while choice is not equal to 0, then we'll print out our menu option. And then after printing this out, we'll prompt the users to make a choice from our menu list. So we can say, let's prompt the user by using our raw input function. Please make a selection or choice. Please make a choice from the menu. Okay. If you are using Python 3, you can use the input function instead of raw input. And since this is a string, we'll convert it into an integer by casting it to an integer. So this will convert the input, which is a string, to an integer. Okay, and we'll save this in the choice variable that we created earlier. We started by setting choice to none. Then based on their selection, while choice is not 0, we'll save their choice in our choice variable. Now that we have their choice, let's check if their choice is any of this, right? That's a validation that we need to ensure. Otherwise, we'll tell the user that they have made an invalid choice. So let's do that. We can say if choice is not in range 6, I'll explain that in a moment. You can say print you have made an invalid choice. Then we can make some string formatting, that format, then we'll pass the choice they selected. Then we can continue. Okay, let's see what we did here. So they make a choice, and if their choice is not in range 6, this basically means 0 through 5, right? Range 6 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are their options. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why we used range 6. So if their choice is not in range 6, we'll print out this message. You have made an invalid choice, and we'll present the choice they made. For instance, if they select 7, it will say you have made an invalid choice and then 7. And we'll continue. So it will go back to the while loop, print the statement. So it will keep looping until they might finally make a valid choice. Okay. What if they also choose 0? 0 is also valid. So if choice is equal to 0, make sure it's double equal, because we are checking their input to this. So we are comparing those two sides. We'll also continue. Okay. Next, what we'll do is, so we'll be performing these operations on two numbers, right? So let's create a prompt. Let's prompt those options for the users. So we'll save our first number in a variable called x. They will say raw input, let's say enter your first number now. You can say something like that, and then we'll save the second number in a variable called y. You can say raw input. Again, if you are using Python 3, you can use the function input. Okay, row input, enter your second number now. So here, this is an integer, and we can cast this. This is a string. So the input is a string, and we can convert that to an integer by casting it into an integer. So we'll cast the whole thing into an integer, then integer. So for this exercise, we are just casting it to an integer, but you can also cast it to a float number. So instead of integer, you can also use float. So in place of integer, you can say float. So that will cast it into a floating number. Okay, integer. Now let's use if-else statements to calculate these operations. So if choice double equal to 1 is what? Addition. Choose 1 to add. Okay, so let's perform addition. If choice double equal to 1, if they choose 1, so the result will be x plus y. And let's save this in a variable called result. Result is equal to x plus y. What if they choose 2? So elif choice double equal to 2, result will be equal to x minus y. We have subtraction, and then next we have 3 for multiplication. So elif choice double equal to 3, result will be x times y. And then we have division. Elif choice is 4. If they select 4, we'll perform division. Result is equal to x divided by y, right? And one more thing to note here is that we cannot have 0 for the denominator, so we can use an if statement to display a message if they enter 0 for y or the second number, right? So let's use some if statements. So we can say if y double equal to 0, what will we display? We'll say print error can't divide a number by 0, right? That's if they choose 0 for their denominator. Else, we'll display the result, x divided by y. Okay, and finally let's take care of the modulus option. So elif choice is equal to 5, which is modulus. We'll simply return the result, which is x modulus y. X modulus y. Again, modulus is similar to division in a sense we cannot have 0 for our denominator, so we'll apply the same if-else condition. So if y 0, we can print error can't calculate modulus when denominator is 0. Or we can simply say 0 division error. So you can modify that error message. Okay, so that will take care of all the options. And finally, we need to print out the result. So we can say the result of your operation is, let's do some string formatting, that format, and then result. Okay, now that we have this, let's try out our program. Let's run it. So it says our simple calculator menu, and then we have our menu. Choose 0 to quit, choose 1 to add, choose 2 to subtract, choose 3 to multiply. Okay, please make a choice from the menu above. We can say above. Let's say we choose 1. Enter. It says enter your first number now. 4. Enter your second number now. 6. That should give me 10. 4 plus 6. So the result of your operation is 10. We can add a colon here. And let's add, please make a choice from the menu above. Okay, let's run it again. Let's run it again. Our simple calculator menu, please make a choice from the menu above. Let's choose 1. Enter your first number now. Let's say -3. Enter your second number now, and 5. So -3 plus 5 should give us 2. So the result of your operation is 2. And then our simple calculator menu is printed out. Please make a choice. So let's subtract now. 2. Enter your first number. Let's say 8. Enter your second number. 8 minus 5. That should give us 3. Okay, the result is 3. Great. Next, let's choose to multiply. So I'll choose 3. Enter your first number. Let's say -2 times -3. That should give us 6. Enter. So the result is 6. Now let's do division. Let's choose 4. Enter your first number now. Let's choose 6. Enter your second number now. Let's choose 5. Run it. So 6 divided by 5 is 1. So this is not doing true division, so we need to import division from the future menu. Okay, please make a choice. Let's quit. Choose 0 to quit. So 0, enter. So the program quit. What we will do is let's import division from the future module. Okay, so import and say from __future _ import division. If you are using Python 3, this is not a problem, but if you are using Python 2 like me, we need to import division so that we can get the true division result. Okay, and as I said earlier, you can also cast your input into a float. Okay, let's run our program again. Okay, please make a choice. Let's do division. So we'll choose 4. Enter your first number now. Let's enter 7. Second number, let's say 5. So we get the true division result now, 1.4. Let's do a division again, 4. Enter your first number. let's say 5, second number 0, that should give us the error. So it says error, we cannot divide a number by 0. So the menu is printed again, which is good. Now let's do modulus, enter 5, choose 5. Enter your first number now, let's say 8. Enter your second number now, let's enter 6. So this is 8 modulus 6. The result should be 2. Run it. So the result of your operation is 2. Again, with our modulus function, we should get an error if we enter 0 for the second number. So let's choose modulus again, 5. Enter your first number, let's say 5. Enter your second number now, 0. So that gave us a 0 division error, right? Integer division or modulus by 0, which is good. Okay, next, one more thing we haven't checked is if we enter anything, if our choice is different from any of these numbers, if it's not in the range 0 to 6, let's check that. Okay, please make a choice from the menu above. Let's choose 8. Run it. It says you have made an invalid choice 8. Please make a choice from the above. If we enter something else, let's say 6, we still get you have made an invalid choice 6. So this is just a simple calculator function program that can, add, subtract, divide two given numbers. Okay, let's summarize our program. Okay, let me quit here. Okay, we started out by displaying a menu for our user, and then we started by setting the choice to none, and then we used the while statement to calculate their choice. We said here if choice is not equal to 0, print our calculator menu, and then we prompt the user to make a choice from the menu, and if their choice is not equal to 0, that means if they don't want to quit, what the first thing we did was to check if their choice is in the menu. So if choice is not in range 6, so if the choice is not in the given menu, we print this message saying they have made an invalid choice, and then we used the continue statement to loop back in the while loop and then present the menu again. So this will keep looping, asking them to make a valid choice again and again. Okay, and if they choose 0, it will quit the program, and once they make a valid choice from the menu displayed, we ask them to enter a first integer, a first number, and then we converted that into an integer. You can change this to float so that you can make calculations with floating numbers, and then we prompt the user again to enter a second number, and once we have that, we used if-elif statements to perform the operation they want. So if they choose to add numbers, we'll display the result of the two numbers. Then we have here for subtraction, multiplication, and division. One thing we did with division was that if they enter 0 for the second number, which is the denominator, we displayed this error message saying cannot divide a number by 0. If not, we display the result, the first number divided by the second number. And same thing for our modulus function. If they choose 0, we print a message saying cannot calculate modulus when denominator is 0. Or here we forgot our else statement. So let's add our else statement. Else the result will be x modulus y. And then finally we present the result of their operation. Okay, let's run it one more time. Let's do modulus. So select 5 and then enter your first number now. Let's say 5. Enter your second number 0. So it will say error, cannot calculate modulus when denominator is 0. So if I enter 5 again, enter your first number now. Let's say 6. Enter your second number. Let's say 5. Modulus should be 1. 1. And if they also try to divide by 0, they'll get an error. Enter your first number. Let's say 8 divided by 0. Error, it says error, cannot divide a number by 0. Well, this is the exercise I have for this lecture. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you next time.